Good morning, everybody. And thanks for having Bosch for IoT Next 2015. By the way, it's an excellent venue. I compliment the organizers for having us here. After the previous presentation by Ashwin, I think, Ashwin, you have set the ground rules for smart cities. And we'll do our best to stay on course. I also want to make a clarification that before this presentation by Bosch, we had absolutely zero contact with Ashwin Mahesh. So what I'm going to present is not at all aligned with what he has presented. And number two, there was absolutely no design in having a break between Ashwin's presentation and my presentation so that I can do some work around in my presentation. Before I start, I deem it proper to give you a very quick snapshot of Bosch. Am I audible at the back also? Bosch is operating in 4 broad areas of mobility, industrial technology, energy building technology, and consumer goods. Each area is by in itself a whole lot of businesses, by the way. And one trivia which I would like to share with you, it's already stated there. Every working hour, Bosch logs more than 2 patents. IoT has a very special place for Bosch. Why? Because Bosch is operating in a diverse range of businesses, and therefore it has a very special place in our business. And therefore, Bosch addresses all the levels of IoT, that is sensors, devices, IoT software, and a diverse range of solutions. Definition of smart city. The picture that you see, the graph which you see, of course it shows various components in a typical modern city. And the question is, does it represent a good visualization of a smart city? Answer obviously is no. Unless and until the citizen is having the center place. All the infrastructure, all the solutions, all the services, unless and until are making a sense to the citizen living in that city, it's not a smart city. And this is in line with what Ashwin said. We have to break the silos. Why we need a smart city? We need a smart city because of economic development. We need to provide good quality and enjoyable living to the citizens. There has to be a sustainability in the city in all aspects. It definitely does not mean that we have to abandon the existing infrastructure, the existing services in the city. All the resources, all the infrastructure has to be optimized so that we get the maximum bang out of whatever we have. It doesn't mean that we really have to invest a whole lot of money in developing the city. What you see here is a very typical value chain of a smart city. Starting from the left side, you have all the parts, components, subcomponents, sub-subcomponents of a smart city. Everything is connected. Everything is emanating information, data. And this data has to be aggregated, sent over through various interfaces, gateways, to the back end, over the cloud, where the data is collected, the data is processed, and there is a lot of data analytics which needs to be performed so that we get useful information, meaningful information, and this information needs to be then sent to the respective stakeholders, whether we are talking of city administrators, whether we are talking of police departments, whether it is for the citizens, so that they get to know about useful information and about the services which they would like to make use of while living in that city. Well, these are the hopefully well-known trends which are changing the world, and that's the reason why we have to bring smartness in the cities that we live in. Mobility is changing the way we live. For example, many a times in many cities which still do not have a good traffic management system, parking takes or is responsible for traffic snarls up to 30%. Urbanization, according to the available data, 2% of the globe which is for cities, and yet 50% of the global population is living in that 2% of the whole world. Connectivity is revolutionizing the way we live. Connectivity means data generation, and data is the new oil, as they say. We have to optimize the resources, and that's the key, whether it is water, whether it is power, and any other resource, whether it's oil, we really have to optimize on the use of the available resources. Demography in different cities is different, and this also needs to be taken care of by the infrastructure, by the services available in the city. And end of the day, citizen is the key, and the people living in the city need a good quality and enjoyable life. Bosch, being a technology company, we are focused on, as you can see in this slide, on mobility, security, environment, and energy. So we have in our portfolio, and we have developed solutions around these components, around these domains. And that's not all. All these individual systems are not going to make a sense, as per Ashwin, unless and until they are integrated, unless and until they are connected, unless and until there is exchange of information, useful information. And that's the reason why you need IoT platform, and that is what Bosch offers, along with the various solutions which are shown here. We all know that there are so-called smart cities around the world, many smart cities, more than 50. And as Bosch, we have had the opportunity to offer smart solutions, smart technology solutions in quite a few cities. What I show here in this slide are few cities in which Bosch has actually implemented such smart solutions in the city of Monaco, city of Singapore, Stuttgart, and Braderup, which is in Austria. And we have offered various technology solutions around mobility, around security, energy, and environment sustainability. We don't have time, so I would at least give you a feel of the kind of solutions, smart city solutions that Bosch has implemented in the city of Monaco. So I would like to play a very short, less than 2-minute video for your viewing.
We don't have audio. You could connect yourself with one gesture. to an entire city. Imagine that with one touch, you could find the nearest available parking space. Visualize time schedules and the direction of the next bus, and discover what the city has implemented to ensure your mobility. Imagine that you could play a major role in community life by helping public authorities to act in real time to improve everyday life. Data integration, secured information sharing, creation of innovative services. With the Monaco 3.0 project, Bosch invites you to experience today the city of tomorrow. A city which would optimize its services in real time to offer a better comfort of life. A connected city built on social links and respectful of the environment. With Bosch, it's possible.
This slide is very often seen now after Ministry of Urban Development released the concept of smart cities in Indian context. That is very important because what has been done globally may or may not be relevant in Indian context. So because the very fact that the maturity level of cities in Europe, America, or other places is already at a high level, and in case of India, we really have to start from a relatively lower level. So that's what has to be kept in mind. And therefore, the Ministry of Urban Development has very rightfully advocated the fact that in Indian context, smart cities would mean intervention of technology to drive economic growth and thereby bring quality of life to the citizens of the city. What you see in this slide are various, it's an illustrative list with regard to what kind of aspects need to be addressed in a typical city. What you see in this slide is basically how we look at a city. This is like a city in action, and what you see on the right side are the different things which are operating, which are at work in a city, whether it is intermodal transport system comprising of fleet managers like BMTC, KSRTC, and then you may have a common mobility card with which you are seamlessly able to travel from a bus to a taxi to an auto to any other to a metro, and then of course you have traffic operations managed by the traffic police in a city comprising of all the dimensions of traffic violations, traffic management, penalties, challans. All these are what falls under the umbrella of traffic. Then you have what many cities have become notorious of late, air pollution. So there has to be there has to be a lot of focus on what's happening to the environment of a city. And then you may have, you do not have it today. You have a handful of centers which are actually, in case of Bangalore, which are providing real-time authentic information about the status of the air purity. So that is, again, you have to have a system in place so that real-time information about the environment is collected and fed onto the to the dashboard of city administrators, then you have a very important dimension of security in a city. Security would mean surveillance and access control or intrusion alarm and things like that, which is again an integral part of a city, because if the cities are not safe, the citizens would not feel comfortable, they would not feel good in living in that city. Train stops, bus stops, we have to have information for the citizens about when the buses are coming, if there are any delays, when the next bus is coming, what are the alternate options available. So all this information has to be available at bus stops, also security aspect. And then of course, there has to be an integrated parking concept in the city so that we know what parking is available if I'm planning to go on a weekend to a particular CBD area, whether I am assured of parking or otherwise I waste time in finding a parking slot. So out of 3 hours, maybe half an hour is gone waste in finding a parking slot. Whether I can make advance payment and reserve a parking slot for myself in case I'm making a program. So all these individual systems, as Ashwin also pointed out very loudly, need to be connected, need to be controlled, need to be regulated. And in a city context, this has to come onto a common platform, city platform as we call it. We have it, and that's how we look at a smart city integration, connection. And that is how we are able to realize a connected city. And what next? If all the information, all the services are not communicated, are not offered to the citizens, it's no point, it's no good. All the infrastructure, all the investments, all the services, all the good things that we may talk of, if they are not brought to the knowledge, brought to the citizens through a map on his mobile and give all the power to the citizen in the palm of his hand, whether it is information with regard to services, important informations, information regarding transportation, city information, places of interest. And yes, we also have incorporated a very important aspect, which is a panic button in the app, as you see, which is shown as a help button. In case of emergency, the citizen can just press and it is communicated to the city administrator on the city platform, so that depending upon what the problem is, what kind of help the citizen needs, appropriate support can be offered, appropriate information can be offered to the citizen. What you see, this is a jam-packed slide. What we are showing, I just have 2 more slides. This is what we offer, what solutions Bosch offers in a smart city context, especially keeping in mind urban mobility. We are offering transport systems, ITS as it is called, integrated or intelligent parking management, traffic management, and these are not products, one product or one solution. These are all connected. These have all been designed, developed and designed so that there is an end-to-end connectivity. It's an end-to-end solution. And what you see on the right side top, it's not so visible, but I would like to very quickly explain whether it is a ITS solution or it's a parking solution or it's a traffic-related information. This is all connected. This is all connected going to the back end. And as I said, the data is captured. You have in the data center, the data is processed. We use a lot of analytics to get meaning out of the information. And this information is then fed either to the BMTC or the fleet operator or the police control room. And also, a lot of information can be sent to the citizens on the mobile app, so that it's a connected world, it's a connected city, and things are happening in sync. And having said that, what do we get out of it? I mean, we may bring in technology intervention in the city by way of having transport system, parking system, traffic management system. The outcome is very revealing, very interesting. The transport usage increases by 25% if we have all the systems in place, properly deployed. 25 to 30% reduction in search time for parking, which otherwise causes traffic issues in the city. The average speed in Bangalore, by the way, is around 10 kilometers per hour. It can go up actually by 20%. And currently, it's 8 to 10 kilometers per hour. If you have proper systems in place, then we definitely can expect it to increase by 20% at least. And this is just to give you an idea what can be the possible potential outcomes with the deployment of these kind of solutions. Security is paramount. Security is an integral part in a city context. And as Bosch, we are a one-stop shop offering a whole lot of security solutions. As we talk, Bosch has implemented a lot of solutions, a lot of pilots across the world in India with regard to mobility, with regard to security. For example, I would like to take one example of the largest installation comprising of more than 10,000 cameras which have been deployed in Delhi Metro Rail Corporation to secure the network of Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. And there is authentic information available that by deploying proper security in a city, the crime can actually be reduced by 50%. And and overall efficiency can definitely improve. We don't need it to deploy a lot of police forces, guards across the city. If you have good use of technology, we actually can get very efficient. I think that was all from my side to give you an overview of smart city concept and how Bosch is looking at the ways and means of harnessing technology to actually help in developing smart cities in India. Thank you very much.